What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of BroteinDean Bakes. I'm your host, BroteinDean, and this is a baking show where I attempt to make macro-friendly versions of your favorite baked goods. On today's episode, we have a very special guest. She is a professional Street Fighter player, has been featured on E-League's The Challenger on TBS, and is here to talk about her nonprofit program, EFightPass. The one and only Miss Sherry Jenix.
Hey guys, what's up? Thank you for having me here, by the way. What are we gonna be making today?
So today we're gonna be baking a arcade stick cake.
Okay, definitely never done that before.
So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's bake. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and mix the dry ingredients together. We have whole wheat flour, cocoa powder, chocolate protein powder, and substitute sugar. And we're just gonna put them all in a bowl.
So, I was watching the first episode and I actually heard you almost set your kitchen on fire.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did set, yeah, sorry,
yeah,
you
really.
set your, funny.
Yeah.
I have a story where I did set my kitchen on fire.
Really?
Yes, I did. I was actually trying to bake a cheesecake for my friend's birthday at like 2 in the morning.
That's nice.
And I was putting everything together, preheating the oven, and there was some light smoke from the oven. I didn't really think much of it. I thought it was just like the grease being burnt off. And about 5 minutes later, my oven was on fire. Apparently, my grandma did the Asian thing and she left like a plastic lid in the broiler, and I didn't take it out. So now my oven is on fire, there's black smoke everywhere, and I go to my room. It's like 2 in the morning, so I didn't want to wake anybody up.
Yeah.
I grab a fan, I open the door, and I'm just standing there in front of the oven, blowing out the black smoke with the fan. Well, unfortunately, I didn't have a fire extinguisher. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna give it 5 minutes before I call the fire department.
Yeah.
And 5 minutes passed and my oven was still on fire, so I decided to call 911. They picked up, transferred me over, and I'm like, hi, so my kitchen is on fire. Could you please come before my house burns down? Thank you. Hang up, and they're like 5 minutes away, so they get here. The fire's out. There's no smoke really because apparently I did the right thing by blowing everything out. And they were nice enough to remove the oven and put it in my front lawn where all my neighbors were standing outside just watching what was going down at like 2 in the morning.
Well, apparently it's a very common thing to happen in baking. So if it happens to you, don't fret. We all do it.
Have a fire extinguisher.
Have a fire extinguisher.
Hadouken!
Ah, what's that sound?
Hadouken!
Our first challenge. What is our challenge today?
First challenge is please explain this photo.
Okay, I guess we're gonna. Okay, so that actually was what 2017 when I first started baking. So I have this obsessive need to bake, even though I'm terrible at it.
Okay.
And so I wanted to do my own baking show back in the day, and I didn't have like a tripod or anything. And so actually, I just got a headband. And if you go back down on the bottom of my Instagram, like I just had POV of me like baking. DIY, and it's like all shaky and stuff. But like that was the best way for me to get some video. So I recorded like 6-7 episodes. Okay, that one. So I have this unhealthy obsession with bathtubs and food.
Okay.
When we did a Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat, we did our first photo in a bathtub with donuts.
I mean, that sounds great.
It was good for me, but the people who had to put it on my body weren't very happy. So what's this one about?
Okay, it was actually my birthday last year.
Yeah.
We were in Toronto for a tournament.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to be my birthday and my friend's engagement.
Okay.
So we all went to this club,
Yeah.
and it was Halloween, so I was dressed as a pirate. You can't tell at all because I'm missing my pirate. Actually, I could be just anything in that picture. Anyways, there was stripper poles at the club,
Yeah.
and since it was my birthday, I was just like, why not?
Let's go on it.
Let's just
Is that your first time?
twerking? Not my first time twerking, but maybe not first time on a stripper pole either. But those are private details.
So same. Okay. Next. Okay, so that's pretty cool. What's that?
Okay, so I actually just recently got sponsored by Victrix.
Nice.
They are the creators of fight sticks and headsets. And they flew my team out, me, Justin, Alex Myers, to do a photo shoot at the Cosmopolitan.
Oh.
And it came out great. The
I love
photographer made me look better than I actually look, so that's how the picture came out. Okay, so we have the wet ingredients.
Yes, we
We
do.
got some eggs. We have the unsweetened almond milk with some vanilla extract and unsweetened applesauce.
Dope.
We're just gonna throw it all together.
Put it in there.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so let's do this. Don't mess up.
You're supposed to break the egg on a flat surface.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's good to know. So break your eggs on flat surfaces.
To prevent eggshells from getting in.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah, okay, so let's do All right,
One at a time.
Okay, so we're gonna put the eggs inside. All right, let's mix that.
Nice.
Okay. All right, so to talk about gaming, I mean, tell me how you got into like that whole field. Like, you're like a professional Street Fighter player. How did that happen?
It's actually really random how it happened
Yeah.
because I did not play games growing up. Like I can literally count all the games I've ever played in my life within these 10 fingers. I started playing Street Fighter because I actually went to the arcade.
Yeah.
My friends were playing Initial D,
Yeah.
and there was a Street Fighter 4 tournament going on.
Oh, okay.
And one of my friends that I haven't seen in a while, who was part of the import scene, was in the Street Fighter 4 tournament. And he saw him, and I was like, "Damn, Tam, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in so long."
Yeah.
And he pulls me to the side, and he's like, "You know, I've been doing this thing. Like, there's these Street Fighter tournaments." And I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "There's actually one in 2 weeks. It's like a girls-only tournament, and we're supposed to find a girl to mentor."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you want to be that girl for me?" I said, "Look, I am not the right person for this. I've never played a fighting game before. I don't really play games." He said, "It's not that serious. It'll be for fun. Like, it's nothing serious at all. Just take it lightly." So I said, "You know what? Let's try it. Let's do it." Went to his house, started practicing, chose my character, Sea Viper.
Yeah. So that was the first character you just picked?
Yeah,
Just randomly?
because I didn't know anything about Street Fighter, so I didn't know who
okay.
Ryu was. I didn't know who
like,
Chun-Li
fuck it,
was.
let's go.
Because a lot of people default to Chun-Li, right?
Yeah, same.
Because or Ryu or Ken, because they're all the default characters. I didn't know who the default characters were, so I went with Viper because she redheaded, she looked sick.
Yeah. Business casual.
Yeah, she's a government agent. So I went with her, and my friend, his gamer tag is Shiggle VMX.
Okay.
He was just like, "I don't know how to play this character. She's really technical. I have this friend, Sherryjenix."
Oh, okay.
He was like the SoCal Sea Viper player.
Okay.
And he was like, "So he can teach you how to play this character."
Yeah.
I'm like, "All right." So I meet, his name's Ivan. I meet Ivan, go to his house, start practicing. He gives me like a list of combos to do.
Yeah.
I go home, start practicing on my PS3.
Okay. Were you using the stick at that time?
No,
or-
I was trying to do it on pad.
pad, oh, okay.
And I just couldn't do, I just couldn't do combos in general.
Yeah,
But I asked my uncle, I said, "Hey, for my birthday present, I know it's June, my birthday's in October, but can I please have a fight stick, basically?" So he's like, "All right, why not?" Gets me one, the very first Mad Catz TE stick, tournament edition stick. So I'm practicing at home now. I'm still terrible, whatever. And
Did it feel easier though to do combos?
it was much easier to me.
Okay.
And then my friends signed me up for the tournament as Sherryjenix.
Oh, so they signed you up just like that?
They signed me up as Sherryjenix. The Genix is from Cryogenics.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got my name,
Yeah.
and that's kind of how I got into Street Fighter.
All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and mix these guys together.
Okay.
All right, so here, I've been doing all the mixing,
All right,
so
let me
I'll
mix
let you
this.
mix this one, because I feel rude.
Okay, I feel like we need a spatula or something
This is our
soon.
first time doing teamwork.
All right, here we
we're just
go.
gonna use our-
All right.
All right, so I mean, it sounds like the Street Fighter community is like really like energetic and stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
There's a lot of energy there, and like me just experiencing just like what we can with you, it's been very positive, and I really like get good vibes from them.
Yeah.
So what do you like? How do you feel about the community, and how do you mesh in that aspect?
I mean, the community is amazing. Obviously, every community has their pros and cons, but I actually think, I play League of Legends, did some League of Legends tournaments and stuff, and then that was cool too. But their community is based online.
Yeah.
A lot of it is online. So a lot of people actually miss that whole personal aspect that the fighting game community has. Because we don't really do online tournaments like that. Everything has to be done in person.
Yeah, you have to come in the hub area.
Yeah, you have to fly out,
Yeah.
go to the tournaments, compete, and actually meet these people face to face.
Yeah.
And that's why I'd say that the fighting game community is one of the most diverse and accepting communities. You know that one scene where Lindsay Lohan is like, she loves math because it's a universal language?
Oh, okay.
That's the same thing with Street Fighter.
That's deep.
It's like, exactly, I can't speak French, I can't speak Spanish.
That's hella deep.
Yeah, I just go to all these countries and we all understand. We can all complain about the same characters.
Yeah.
We can all complain about the frame data and how cheap a character is.
Yeah.
And we might not speak the same language, but we all understand where we're all coming from. And then we all laugh. Yeah, it's great. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Now that the ingredients are mixed together, we're gonna go ahead and pour them into the pan that is greased. Greased pan. All right?
All right, let's do
So go ahead
this.
and pour that right in there. Okay, so tell us about the EFightPass program. So how'd you come up with it?
So like I said, I started traveling more last year.
Yeah.
So I met a lot of international players and a lot of like local players from their communities.
Yeah.
And there are a couple players out there that are pretty good that I've never seen in the US.
Okay.
And I had asked them, I was like, hey, how come you guys don't come to the US to compete? Because this is actually where all the big tournaments are.
Yeah.
One of them at first was like, oh, you know, we have visa issues out here.
Yeah.
That kind of like put the seed in my head. And then that was in Mexico. I went to DR, Dominican Republic, and there was a player over there, Crossover. He was really good.
Yeah.
Obviously, he got like top 8, I think like 3rd at the tournament when I was there.
Nice.
And I asked him also, hey, you're pretty good. Why don't you come to the US tournaments? And he said the same thing. Oh, we have visa issues out here in DR. And unfortunately, like, he actually qualified for our league. So the top 32 players with the most points in the world get invited into the league.
Yeah.
And then you compete for $250,000. Yeah, and it's not an open tournament, it's an invite only. So obviously he qualified for it. But unfortunately, he got his visa rejected. So he had to forfeit his spot and give it to another player from Latin America, Picaro, who was actually another person I had asked, like, and he told me he also had visa issues.
So
but fortunately, he got his visa for the tournament in time and was able to compete.
Okay.
But poor Crossover, he couldn't get it. And that's when, in like November, I started coming up with the concept of EFightPass.
Yeah.
And then in December is when I started working on the website. And then I talked to lawyers, sorted everything out. So I went public with EFightPass in February, end of February, or beginning of March. Yeah, like a month or two ago.
That's awesome. So you saw a problem and you're like, I want to be able to fix this, and you kind of just took it in your own hands and did it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It's kind of because like when Crossover got his visa rejected, so many people offered help, but people didn't know how to help.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, what can we do for you? Like, is there an emergency visa and stuff? And qualifying, like a tournament wouldn't qualify you for an emergency visa.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, you know what, let me kind of figure out what we can do.
Yeah.
So
you made the website and the program.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, see, I love that. That's exactly what I love about what you're doing. And I remember when you reached out to us and you were telling us about the community that you have.
Yeah.
With KFKF, like, we're really big on creating like communities and linking people up who probably wouldn't have who have not known each other before.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool to be able to work with you guys and kind of help bring your communities together, help promote your program, and help really establish a strong, positive growth into your community as well as ours. But also like combine fitness, combine, like gaming, and kind of like bring light to different communities that people wouldn't even like think about, Because like when I was like, I didn't really know like a whole street fighting scene like existed like when I was in college and things like that. And I found out more later. And then you see like the culture and you see how excited people get and you see like all this positivity and friendships and people that you meet. And that's exactly what I love about KF. That's what I love about the FGC, and what I also love about the EFightPass program. So I think you're doing something awesome.
Thank you. I mean, you guys have helped me along the way so much also. So I appreciate all the support from you guys.
So the next thing we're gonna go ahead and do is put this into the oven. All right, so we're gonna let it bake at some sort of degrees. In here. Okay, so I'm actually wearing our collab shirt with EFightPass. So you wanted to kind of describe it a little bit?
Yeah, so FGC, it's the acronym for Fighting Game Community.
Yeah.
And KFKF is kind of fit, kind of fat. We have a little joystick right here with the brand colors of pink and brown, the donut sprinkles and all.
Donuts.
So on the back, it actually says Fighting Game Community, and the whole kind of fit, kind of fat, just everything spelled out. And it's pretty cool because if you've ever played Street Fighter 2 in your life, this is the map from the game in the kind of fit, kind of fat colors. And the flags are actually from the countries that participate in the Capcom Pro Tour. So there's like US, DR, Brazil. I'm sorry if you're ticklish. But yeah, it's pretty cool because I tried to include as many countries as we could. Obviously, I had to omit some. It would be way too crowded if we had all the flags. And it's pretty cool because we put the little plane that is in the Super Turbo game. We put it over Las Vegas because that's usually where the finals happen for the Capcom Pro Tour. And even if not, that's where EVO always happens. So the biggest tournament of the year. It's a pretty sick shirt.
So this shirt actually is available online right now at kindoffitkindofat.com or kindoffitkindofat.apparel.com. And if you go ahead and buy that, the proceeds will actually be going to the EFightPass program to help out bring the international community together with the fighting game community. So go ahead and grab yours. today. Oh, sounds like our cake's ready. So let's go ahead and grab it from the oven downstairs. God. Yeah, got it. Oh look, it came out already baked and stuff. So while we were walking up, we go ahead and cut the cake in half and filled it with cream. That's a really high-end oven. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put this crumb fondant. We're gonna put this crumb cream. Buttercream as a crumb coat.
We're gonna put
We're gonna put a crumb coat. We're gonna go ahead and put a crumb coat on top of this cake. So
Thin layer.
I'll do the first. So while she goes ahead and put the crumb coat
Yes.
on top of the cake, I'm gonna go ahead and roll out this fondant.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
What are you doing? It was ready to roll. It was ready to roll. Flatten it out.
Okay, you're gonna have to
Stop!
roll
Don't touch
it. Roll it.
Don't touch it.
Oh, what's that sound?
Another challenge.
Oh, you know, yes, it is. So what are we doing? Oh, cosplay as main characters. All right. I guess we gotta do that.
Let's go do this.
Be right back.
Okay. We're done with that. Okay.
I'm not embarrassed. You're embarrassed. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and decorate it.
Decorate it. All right.
So we'll start off with rolling it.
Have a knife. It's
We
right
do.
there.
Okay. Cool. So
But hold on. Don't stab me yet.
I got just there came up. It's fine. So we're gonna do.
Okay. I guess that kind of works.
So we actually have an event in May, right?
Yes. May 5th.
May 5th at Super Arcade. Do you want to fill them in on what's going on
Yeah.
there?
So we're actually throwing like a charity event. It's gonna be a tournament, a Street Fighter tournament. So Street Fighter 5 and 4. And there's actually gonna be like a mini car show outside as well. So I actually have 13 show cars coming out.
Nice.
They're gonna be taking up the parking lot in front of Super Arcade. And there's a lot of vendors coming out. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff we're giving away.
Yeah.
So please come out, participate in the raffles. Nothing goes to me, of course. Everything's going straight to the program EFightPass.
Yeah. So I think it's $5 entrance fee and then $5 for the game
Yep.
to participate, and all the proceeds will go to EFightPass. So come out, check it out, say hi, dress in cosplay.
Just however you
Just
like.
however you goddamn want.
Just don't sweat it out.
Just don't sweat it out. All right, I think that's good. We now have done our stick. So compared to hers, I think we did a pretty good job.
Oh, the cake is lighting
Oh,
up.
it's
Okay.
like.
Yeah. I mean, the purple is there because the purple shows when the buttons are actually lit up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's cheers. Cheers. I mean, it's not bad. All right, so I mean that concludes our episode here. Don't forget you can get the FGCX KFKF EFightPass shirt online at kindofit.com. Come to the event May 5, hang out with us, do the tournament, have a good time. And thank you, Sherry, so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Also, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe or not. Turn on the notifications. And we'll see you on the next bite, mother.
Yeah, fine, yeah.
Oh, God.